has helped make this day possible. Please join me in welcoming.
Good morning, everyone. Respected guest speaker, Shri Rupin Sharma, IPS, Director General of Police, Nagaland, Principal of our college, Dr. Father George Ketuhu Angami, Vice Principal Academic Affairs, Dr. Sister Tresemia VG SABS, Vice Principal Students Affairs, Dr. Father Obed Yimchungar, Dean of Science, Dr. Father Peter Solo, PG Coordinator, Dr. Father Bezalhu Ko George, Administrator, Reverend Father Binoy Joseph, HODs, coordinators, teaching and non-teaching faculties, students, and to all individuals present here today. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to St. Joseph's College Autonomous Jakhama and to our much anticipated annual Management Fest, the Convergence Fest. Today, I take the honor to welcome each one of you to the 15th Convergence Fest 2024 with the theme Unite, Innovate, Inspire with our tagline Synergy in Motion. Convergence Fest is a vibrant and energetic celebration of innovation, strategy, and leadership. A platform where the brightest and the young minds gather to showcase their talent, skills, and knowledge in the world of business and management. On behalf of the Department of Business Administration, St. Joseph's College Autonomous Jakhama, I extend a warm welcome to our esteemed guest speaker, Shri Rupin Sharma, IPS DGP, Nagaland. Allow me, sir, to give a brief introduction about you to the gathering today. Shri Rupin Sharma was born in Sitpur, Kangra, Himachal. His educational qualification includes BSc, MEd, LLB, and MBA. He is an Indian IPS officer from the 1992 batch. He was earlier in Dharamshala, currently, as of 2022, posted in Nagaland as DGP. He was conferred the Indian Police Meritorious Service Medal Award in the year 2012. He is an expert in international fugitive tracking, investigation, security, intelligence, and prison affairs. Shri Rupin Sharma is best known for arresting Don Abu Salem for the 1993 Mumbai blast scandal. He is also popularly known as the People's DGP in Nagaland. We are truly honored to have such an exemplary officer of your rank and caliber among us today. Your presence here, sir, is an inspiration, and we eagerly look forward to the insight you will be sharing with us. Sir, as a token of our profound gratitude for accepting to grace our festival as guest speaker, we would like to present you with a small token. So may I kindly ask you to stand where you are seated and accept our humble gesture. Thank you so much. Make it famous.
Good morning, one and all. Esteemed guest speaker, Shri Rupin Sharma, IPS, the Director General Police of Nagaland. Respected Principal, Vice Principals, PG Coordinator, Dean of Science, Administrator, HODs, and Department Coordinators, teaching and non-teaching faculties of St. Joseph's College, Jakhama, Student Council members, Sazolie representatives, and to all present here today. Welcome to the 15th edition of Convergence Fest, hosted by the Department of Business Administration. It is an honor to stand before you today as the convener of this vibrant event. Since its inception in 2010, Convergence Fest has grown from a modest intra-departmental gathering into a celebrated inter-college festival, bringing together talented students from various disciplines and backgrounds. This year, we are thrilled to offer an exciting array of events that challenge and inspire you to showcase your skills, creativity, and passion. We are privileged to have with us distinguished guests, industry experts who will share their insights and experiences, enriching our learning journey. Your presence here today reflects a commitment to personal and professional growth, and I encourage each of you to make the most of this unique opportunity. Let us come together to compete, collaborate, celebrate the spirit of learning. I wish you all an unforgettable experience filled with knowledge, interaction, and inspiration. Thank you, and let's make this fest a resounding success. Thank you.
Police Nagaland. Let's give him a very warm welcome as he takes the stage to inspire all with his words.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to the management of St. Joseph's College, the organizers, which is the management, faculty and students, and other students who are present here today. Actually, normally I would sort of have time to spare for such events, but this time it was a bit different because I was quite busy during this period. I normally don't say this because I have enough time, but this time I had to sort of cancel a lot of other things to be present here today. And one of the things which brought me here was the fact that I am myself a management graduate. Although that management graduation was many years ago, it was in the period 87 to 89. So it's almost like 40 years back. I would honestly admit that after doing my MBA, I have not read any of the management books which were prescribed then. I don't know how much the principles of management have changed, but I firmly believe that there are certain things which are unshakable, which will not change. I think even if your books change, I think the principles will remain the same. Certain things in management would have changed because of the development of technology. Certain new techniques, new systems would have come in. Probably it is much easier to manage things now because earlier when we studied, when we were doing our MBA, it was most of it was paper and pen management. But now it is more of a digitized, online, data-based management. Yes, the data helps us to manage things, but data also confuses us because there is so much of data involved, there is so much of data available everywhere that it makes things very difficult for all of us. Nevertheless, I think certain principles, as I said, remain the same. For my student friends from the management faculty, in our days, I think even probably now it would be the same. In our days, the two the two most wanted specializations in management were marketing and finance. I think it probably would still remain the same. But for me, I did not specialize in either finance or marketing. I specialized in personnel management and organizational behavior. Not because I wanted to be something different, but because I believe that one should follow one's passion and love. I love dealing with people. I love interacting with people. I love sort of experimenting with people to get the best with people around. So my suggestion to all of you is, the students is, don't go for what everybody else is doing, whether it is marketing or finance or anything. Follow your passion, follow something that you love, that you like doing. And I can tell you that although my specialization in personnel management and organizational behavior has helped me in my career throughout, but I think that if I had not specialized in organizational behavior and personnel management, I would not be able to make any impact in Nagaland Police. Because Nagaland, though it is small, but it is extremely complex. Getting around with people, meeting people, how to handle people, how to involve people in policy making, how to make people, how to involve people in decision making. All these are things which sort of, besides my passion, I learned during my MBA. So there is enough scope in personnel management if you want. Besides the products that you will deal with, I think human beings are at the core of any organization. Okay. I am not saying the others are not important. The others will give the money and the salary, but personnel management will help you choose the right people for the right job. Management again is not just about finance or personnel or marketing or production or manufacture or all those things. Management of any organization is a job in synergy. It is a job where efforts of everybody have to be brought together. Management sort of entails that you should be able to make the best use of the resources available with you, including the worst possible resources which are available with you. Okay? Everybody is not the same. So we should be able to make best possible use of the resources that we have, including the human resources. Even human resources, there's a lot of difference. You are students, you have your faculty and teachers here, but all of you will agree that all of you are not the same. All of us as human beings are not the same. Someone is good in something, someone is not good in something. As much as we need to respect the merit, I think we need to respect the individual differences in people. I think it is the individual differences in people and the individual differences in thinking of people, in how people approach problems or issues, which has made the mankind grow. It is these differences in approach and thinking of human beings which have made us stand in this phase of the society today where we are. Okay? If all of us were similar, we would be like animals who all think alike, whose basic needs are very limited, who can't think more than a limited scope. But as human beings, I think we think differently, we act differently, we have different emotions, we have different needs and desires. I think management is all about channelizing those needs, desires and differences into a positive direction. Whether that positive direction is good for the society, or is it a product or a service or whatever you want. But to do all that, what is essential is the exposure that you have in life and your ability to perceive things, ability to see things, judge things, find out where the things are very good and they don't need any change, where the things are not good or where things can be improved. No human being is perfect, so nobody will have all the solutions. But if we have a teamwork, we can get solutions. But for teamwork, and for getting solutions to any issues or any problems. I think what we need is exposure to other things in life. Okay, I'm especially emphasizing this issue that you need to have exposure to other things in life. Exposure to, maybe if you talk in terms of Nagaland, exposure to different families and friends, exposure to different villages, to different tribes, to different districts, to different states, people in different parts of the country, people working or dealing with other faculties or other subjects in school or college, exposure to what is happening around the world, okay, how other systems function. Because remember, you don't work in isolation. We don't live in isolation. What happens in one part of the world affects all of us. Okay. So unless you have that exposure, you will not know where a problem is. If you don't know where a problem is, you don't know a solution. You will not even think of a solution. And this is important because if you know that there is a problem, only then you will start thinking of a solution. So a problem is actually an opportunity. So for an opportunity to come into your hands, either you create an opportunity or the opportunity is there and you have to have that talent and the capability to come up with solutions and make good, whether it is good with money or anything else. You can do it on your own or you can learn from others. Okay, I think a better part of our learnings in life come from our interaction with others, our exposure to what is happening in other parts of the city or the state or the country or other departments. Departments mean as a student in other departments, in other faculties. For us, maybe in police or in government servant, we need to know what the other department is doing, not just what police is doing, but what other departments in the Nagaland government are doing. Just for example, like if I have to ask my Nagaland police to do traffic management, they cannot solve all the problems if the road itself is bad. You know, if I have to tell them that we need faster connectivity between Nagaland and Delhi, then I need an airport. So I need to know how systems work in other places. What are the systems in other places, how we can do things. And I'm saying this firstly because I said exposure is important. Secondly, because I realized after all my years in Nagaland that sadly the exposure of most people in Nagaland is very, very limited. Is very, very limited. That is where, except for a cream of about 1% of the people, maybe most people are not looking at opportunities anywhere else. I think fear of the unknown is one aspect that people, everybody, including me, everybody, all of us are comfortable in our own areas, in our own district or our own village or our own state. We are all comfortable where we are. But besides being just that fear of that unknown, I think what is important is that we don't know what others are doing, how others will think, what others do. And actually it is sort of an inferiority complex that we develop, that we don't know how to interact with a person. When we don't know how to interact with a person, we just close ourselves into a shell like a tortoise and keep sitting idle. My request, my suggestion to all students is, please open up the windows and horizons for yourself. I say this almost in every speech that I do with students in Nagaland. Whether it is school students or college students or university students, throughout I have said this. I really have my doubt how many of you watch any news channels, Indian or international news channels. I really have my doubts. I mean, if I want you to raise your hand, how many of you watch, say, BBC or CNN every day? I'm not saying Indian channels, I'm saying the BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera, RT, France, or German channels. Even if you watch it for say 10 minutes in a day, can you raise your hand? How many of you watch say more than one channel? Very few of us. Okay, so you don't know what is happening in the world. Your life is just limited to going from your hostel or your house, coming to the class, attending a few lectures, which at the end of the day, I have also been a student, at the end of the day you think it is nonsense. Okay, end of the day you think it is nonsense, but the things which are important and good, you don't even look at that. How many of you students would be reading, firstly, the newspapers of Nagaland? 3-4 newspapers of Nagaland, English language newspapers, Nagaland Page, Nagaland Post, Morung Express, Eastern Mirror. How many of you read all 4? Will be very few. How many of you read national newspapers? Hindu, Times of India. Very few. So you don't know what is happening in the world. Okay, so when you don't know what is happening in the world, you are just looking at opportunities in Nagaland, in your own village, in your own district, and not looking at what are the opportunities in the entire world. One of the reasons everybody in Nagaland says, I'm just giving an example, everybody says Nagaland employment rate is very high. Unemployment rate is very high. Why? Because you're just looking at opportunities in Nagaland and in government. The government cannot feed everybody. Government cannot feed everybody. You are not looking at any opportunities anywhere else. Outside the government, you are not looking at any opportunities. How will you succeed? As I said, fear of the unknown is one thing. But I think more importantly, it is the lack of exposure that you have. You don't even know, most of you won't even know what is happening. Okay? I'll just take one raising of hands on an issue. Actually, I will be very surprised, but more than surprised, I will be happy if I get a very good positive response on what I am asking. Okay, how many of you know that in the past, say 2 days, 48 hours, pagers and wireless sets have exploded in Lebanon? Just raise your hands. Students, please. I can just count about 10-12 people. Just 10-12 people. In an entire house of about 800 students. This just shows that you are just not knowing what is happening in the world. Management is not about just principles of management and lagao ratta and reproducing the concepts. Management is about application of the principles that you have learned into daily life to make things better for all of us. Okay, if you don't know the problems, you don't know the solutions. You don't have to find all solutions. There are solutions which exist already, but you have to know how to find that solution. There was, not at your age, maybe not at college students' age, but I know that in Nagaland, most parents don't allow their children to use mobile phones. They will learn bad things. So it is the duty of the parents to teach the children what is the right thing to learn. Children will all do wrong things. In the front row and me, we have been parents. We all know, teachers will try to, or the students or the children will try to do wrong things also. But it is our duty to teach them what is wrong. I hope that some of you will start watching some TV channels or reading some newspapers. These will come in handy in life. These will help you in life. Just reading the books and reproducing will not help you beyond a point. Life is much more than just reading exams and passing in the exams. As for myself, I will tell you, why I am saying this is there is a reason. Joining the civil services in our country is a very big task. Okay, I am privileged to be a part of that privileged community. But let me honestly admit that I was never a brilliant student who would get say 95% marks. Okay, I was never a brilliant student who will get 95% marks, academically brilliant, so that I will produce every answer the way it is written in the book. No. You have to know what it means and be able to make practical use of what is written in the books. Only then you will succeed. If you are just able to reproduce answers, nothing. You will not gain anywhere in life. But if you are able to understand why it means and the implications of what it means, I think you will succeed in life. So, but to succeed, you have to know how other things, other systems function, how other people functions. I hope some of you will take my advice a bit seriously and not watch BBC and CNN only and not study. That's not the idea, but if you try to learn more things, you have better exposure. I think you will do better in life than most of your other counterparts in your age group and maybe even your own seniors. Thank you very much. All the best. I, Rupin Sharma, declare the 15th Convergence Fest organized by the Department of Business Administration, St. Joseph's College Autonomous, Jakhama, under the theme of Unite, Innovate, Inspire, Open. Thank you very much. All the best.